So second half has just kicked off for the and the current scoreline is Arsenal 5, West Ham 2. We've just opened up our selection of snacks, pub snacks, scampi fries, which is a staple.
Apparently, the last time that there was 7 goals before half-time in the Premier League was in 1998. I don't know who the team was. I'll try and find out, but 98.
98, okay. Probably West Ham losing again. Yeah, obviously scampi fries and pork scratchings with the selection, and I've eaten a lot. Rob won't eat it because he's vegetarian. So I'm going to have heart problems now. There's been a couple of subs. Obviously, Gabriel has done what he's needed to do. He's gone off Jacob Kiwior, and surprisingly, when West Ham need more attacking impetus, they take Somerville off and put Alvarez on. So a questionable substitution for me. Again, I think Lopetegui looks like he's protecting the 3-goal deficit now, which is pathetic. Again, a wrong tactical sub for me. I would have put another striker on, go for broke. What you got to lose? You got to try and chase the game now. So putting a CDM on rather than another attacker is baffling. Maybe him coming in will allow Emerson and Wan-Bissaka to push up more, and he drops back in with a centre-back pairing. But again, this is something that has been a sticking problem for me as a fan and under Lopetegui. So 3-0 down, 3 goals down, and not impressed by our substitutions, and Arsenal look like they're solidifying theirs. So, question that we're talking about in a minute after breaking our teeth on the pork scratchings, is Lopetegui going to get sacked after this game? For me, it kind of this result kind of undoes what we've done at Newcastle, but again, it falls in line with what's happened for the rest of the season in terms of anyone that we've played up against in the top 6 has beaten us. So, and agreed with what Tab said in our guest appearance on the Grove podcast recently. We seem to be inconsistent. We win a game, we lose a game, we draw a game, we lose a game, we win a game, we lose a game. But yeah, a frustrated Lopetegui as he's sitting in the stands next to his bum chum, Tim Steiden. Whether bum chum, well, I can't say bum chum. No, that's all right, bum chum. So yeah, it'll be interesting because Sim Steiden will now get a first-hand glance of what Lopetegui is actually saying to his coaching staff to instruct the team. So unless he talks Spanish, and then he won't be able to understand him. But Rob, what's your thoughts? I mean, do West Ham pull the plug on Lopetegui now with an easier run of fixtures, or do they give him the benefit of doubt moving forward?
Okay, so I take your point about the easier run of fixtures, and I hear you, because building a team and whatever or building a style of play, if you needed to pick up something, it makes sense. And I've got my Arsenal hat on, but I also think it's important to acknowledge that Arsenal could do this to a lot of teams in the Premier League, and they could beat a lot of teams by scoring 5 goals. But what I also think is important to say is that West Ham has scored 2 goals, and so while they've been outplayed, they haven't been limp. And the 2 goals they scored were 2 good goals. So I don't know. I mean, I get it. Adam's passionate and he's very upset, but at the same time,
I'm not that upset.
Okay, well, fine. Well, Adam is resigned then, but I don't know. I kind of think that actually, the fact that they've scored 2 good goals shows that there's some fight in the team and that they're still playing for the manager. But that's just my opinion.
There's a bit of upheaval in the pub at the minute because Riccardo Calafiori is coming off for Alexander Zinchenko. So, what's your thoughts on that, Rob? That's a bit of a weird one. I mean, Calafiori does look like he's holding his groin problem, so...
Yeah. Well, if he's holding his groin, it's a tactical decision and one that's necessary. Zinchenko is excellent on the ball. The only concern would be is that Arsenal are playing now with a 50% full strength defence. So it will be interesting to see what they do with Zinchenko and then Kirill playing as the left centre back. So if I was West Ham, I'd be looking to attack down the left because Arsenal are going to be weakest through the left, although they're attacking on the right now.
Yeah, West Ham seems to be having an attacking flow here at the minute. And then Arsenal just retrieved the ball and cleared it. But yeah, it's an interesting sort of substitution. Let's say, do we start to exploit the left-hand side now and bring on more attacking threat? So let's see what happens. So West Ham have made 2 substitutions. Antonio's coming off for Danny Ings and Emerson's coming off for Vladimir Kufal. You're 3 goals behind and you take the striker off. You put another striker on, a striker that likes to play with a partner. Why? Strange decision, very strange decision by Lopetegui. He can't blame his staff for that one, I'm afraid. So 70 minutes on the clock, not really the same intensity as the first half. Obviously Arsenal are trying to protect the lead and West Ham are struggling to attack. Lots of substitutions so far, obviously yellow cards bearing in mind, to prevent injuries as well. But yeah, very, very below, in comparison to the first half. I think that's going to take a lot to kind of match any game, let alone this game. But yeah, it's kind of, the atmosphere's kind of dwindled a little bit now. The intensity's kind of gone a bit low. Yeah, Rob, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't Arsenal playing, I'd love to see more goals. But actually, Arsenal looks like they're quite happy just to lock up the shop. I think Arsenal would be good for more goals, but West Ham are trying and Arsenal are just quite happy just to hold the position. As I say that, Saka's running through. But it's West Ham's to chase. Arsenal have got 3 goals, so after that, all Arsenal have got to do is take the points, and I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, it's a good point. You said it's West Ham's to chase, but the substitutions have been quite negative. You've gone like for like rather than trying to increase the attacking intensity. So, and even Alvarez, I know he's kind of controlling the middle of the park at the moment, in front of the defence and kind of shoring up the attacks there. But again, he's just slow on the ball. He's making. Yeah, he's just making. I'm right. I'm good. So I know he's kind of controlling the ball a little bit, but he just slows the pace down, and we need to attack. We need 3 goals to chase, and again we're just falling back into type again against the top 6. And West Ham are in. No, goal kick to Arsenal. Again, we're just falling back into type. Same old habits die hard, right? So a couple of subs for Arsenal on the 73rd minute. We got Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling coming on for Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard. One of the comments by one of the punters in the pub was, why are they bringing them old cunts on? I mean, to be fair, them old guys are pretty much better than West Ham's first team options, what they got in a minute. So, yeah, entitled much? No, also to point out that I said earlier that the pub was for the Gooners. To be completely honest, these Gooners fans that are in the pub at the moment look like they've just about discovered facial hair, and they're probably about 16 years of age. I mean, it's incredible, really. Last time Arsenal were invincible, the fan base in this pub at the moment are invisible back then. 2 more subs for West Ham, Paquetá and Soler. Their creativity as the 2 number 10s have both come off, and we've gone back to Rodriguez and Andy Irvine. Again, 2 CDMs, another defensive CDM. Souček is probably the attacking midfielder at the moment. Lopetegui, you've lost it, mate. You've absolutely lost it. We need attacks. We need to score goals. You've brought on negative players. The writing's on the wall, mate, sadly. Another sub at the moment on the 84th minute as Trossard comes off Nweri. If you notice, it's mostly me on the end of this half because Rob is currently flirting with the Spurs fan at the bar. He's eyeing a beer. He's got the flavour at the minute. You all right over there, Rob? Yeah. He's waiting for a Heineken. I mean, one, if you're drinking Heineken, there's something wrong with you. I've gone for the Cruz Campo, which has left a very bitter Spanish taste in my mouth at the moment. Basically, my dad is at the stadium at the minute, and he's been texting so far. Basically said they've been toilet. Get Lopetegui out, get Jose Mourinho in. That's someone that's in the stadium at the moment. Again, I touched on this previously, that Lopetegui done well on Monday. He got the best out of the team, but playing exactly the same formation against a better opposition, they've been found out, and not just found out by conceding 1 or 2 goals or losing the game by that amount. To concede 4 after 35 minutes is worrying, regardless who the opposition is, especially when you've spent near enough £80 million on 2 centre halves. But the sort of tactical changes made by taking off your attacking options in Antonio, Somerville, and then later bringing off Paquetá and Soler for Irvin, Rodriguez, Alvarez and Danny Ings. When you've got Luis Guilherme on the bench, you've got a youngster on the bench that could get some vital Premier League minutes, and if you're conceding defeat already, there's things there that I would have done completely different. But that's just me as a fan. I don't get paid for it. I don't get paid to manage West Ham United. I just watch them. So, as surprised as that may sound to some people, but I think this game could spell the end for Lopetegui, in my opinion. I think West Ham fans have probably seen enough. We've had a few good results over the past 13 games. Look at Crystal Palace away, kept a clean sheet, winning 2-0. Beat Man United at home. Again, that result was probably a smash and grab, effectively. We beat Ipswich at 4-1. And you think when you're supposed to, you're expected to beat newly promoted teams anyway, considering the amount of seasons that we've had previously and being in Europe and the quality of players that we brought in. But I've just seen here that Guido Rodriguez has just gifted the ball to Jesus, and then we've conceded a foul outside the box for a free kick. It's just shocking, mate. It's bad. Is that 87 minutes or 82? 87 minutes. We're not far off this game being finished. To be fair, it was finished after 35 minutes. But if people are saying we should stick with Lopetegui based on Monday night, I think this game kind of determines Lopetegui's legacy at West Ham. I think it's going to be very short. And again, Lopetegui, I don't think he's a horrible person. I think he's a very good-natured person. But managerial-wise, again, I've stressed this more than enough. He just wasn't the right man from the start. So, 88 minutes, Sterling standing over the ball for a free kick. Rob's backing him to score at the moment. It wouldn't surprise me. Let's just wait and see. I mean, Anthony Taylor, again, he's been the star of the show. Anthony Taylor, the referee, he loves it. There you go, look, he's going to stand right next to the ball so he gets the limelight. Sterling has just missed, but yeah, c'est la vie. Arsenal have done a pass back which was collected by Danny Ings. He's taken it round the keeper and he's gone wide. Again, an indication of how West Ham's night at the moment. It was quite unlucky there, to be fair. It was at an acute angle, but I think if he got it on target, I think Raya would have saved it. So, yeah, another near miss.
The Arsenal.
Sorry, Rob's back now from flirting with Spurs fans.
By the way, the Arsenal defender, I'm not even sure who it was, maybe Timber sliding in there. Great call to lift his leg above the ball. Read the angle as well, knew it was going wide. Was it Saliba? Right, okay. Lifted his leg over the ball and let it go wide of the goal. Great call.
And that is full time. So the final result is West Ham 2, Arsenal 5. Pretty much all decided in the first half. The second half was pretty much shut up shop for Arsenal. Still have some attacking impetus, and then West Ham just protecting the 3-goal deficit. So, yeah. So Rob, what's your final thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think 5-2 flat as West Ham. I don't think they played amazingly well, but you can also acknowledge that 2 good goals were scored. One of them was particularly good. The free kick was wonderful. I thought the first goal that West Ham scored, I thought the through ball for the goal was great. I think Raya should have done better for the shot itself. Shouldn't be getting beaten near post like that. But fair play to Aaron Wan-Bissaka for being in the right place at the right time. Actually, he was where Bowen should have been. And I think that says a lot about the game. When we did the podcast midweek, I said that keeping Bowen quiet was key, and Arsenal did that. And I was surprised with the way they did it, because I would have gone with Calafiori and Martinelli, and actually Calafiori was enough. And Bowen wasn't really in the game, so really pleased with the result. And like I said, I think 5-2 flat as West Ham.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there, mate. I think us scoring 2 goals, but again, as I highlighted earlier, to go 4-0 down after 35 minutes is worrying. So I just had visions of March earlier this year where we got done 6-0. But fair play to Arsenal. They're a better team at the end of the day. And the pub full of Arsenal teenagers made me feel welcome. So yeah, but and also I just to reassure all our listeners here, I didn't break my teeth on the pork scratching, so that's a highlight for me tonight.
I think what I think this result does show is just how important Odegaard is to Arsenal's system, because I think if we're being impartial, Odegaard for me is the best presser in the Premier League. And Arsenal have a good pressing team. They press well, but Odegaard particularly is fantastic. And that's just one part of his game. And he came off for a large portion of the second half, and actually that showed. And by that time, the points are in the bag. And I think that Odegaard coming off, Gabriel coming off, hopefully he's okay, Saka coming off, and a string of others shows that how quickly Arsenal were thinking about Man United at home. West Ham away was done, 5-2 flat as West Ham, and by about the 60th, 70th minute, Arsenal were already thinking about, okay, how can we beat Man United?
Yeah, I can't disagree with you, mate. So going on to who's your man of the match then? I think it's pretty clear who you're going to go with.
I think from a points tally, the easy man of the match is Saka, because he got 3 assists, and one of them was, and he scored a goal as well. So from a points tally, and an FPL fanboy, and I captained him this week, Saka's got to be the captain. But the 45 minutes that Gabriel gave us cannot be underestimated either.
Yeah, I think that's right. Again, it's a very agreeable podcast. I think it's just more accepting the fact of what it is. But London Stadium is a bit of a stomping ground for Gabriel. I think he's always scored at London Stadium in the past 3 games, I think. So fair play to him. If I had to put a man of the match performance after one half, I'd say Gabriel. Saka's obvious because he's the set piece taker and he's the contributor to goals. But I think that was a defensive masterclass from Gabriel today. Although the 2 goals in the first half were not his fault, but he was involved everywhere. And what I did like about Arsenal's attacking threat at set pieces was I'd never seen a deep attack from the back post of the corners. I mean, there was something about that where I was just looking at it thinking, why is everyone bundled up in the back end of the box? And it proved evident. You got 2 penalties out of it, you got a goal out of it. It works. But for me, if I saw that, again, I'm not a head coach. I'm not even qualified to even. I'm surprised I'm even talking about it, to be completely honest. But if that was me, I would have not followed the attackers at the back post. I would have protected that front and made sure that the cross never came in. But again, a good delivery from Saka on most occasions, and the result is evident. I mean, West Ham currently sit 14th after 13 games with 15 points and a -7 goal difference, which is we've got a bit of protection there, but we're currently. So Arsenal are currently second now, trailing Liverpool on 25 points or a +12 goal difference now. So, and that's it. They've just turned it off in the pub now for darts.
Which is not a bad way to spend the evening.
Well, I'm going to go home and cry. No, I won't. I'm not that affected by West Ham losses. I mean, I'm so used to it, so it's a bit of a staple.
I think tongue-in-cheek jokes aside, what Arsenal did today was I think expected. I think Arsenal were very clear favourites, but I also think it shows just how much of an asset Nicolas Jova is, because Arsenal have scored effectively from 2 set pieces or conceded a penalty as well. From their set-piece attack, and West Ham, among others this season, Sporting Lisbon being the obvious example because it happened midweek with Gabriel, defences are at sea with Arsenal when it comes to set-pieces, and that's taken aside the fact that Arsenal score comfortably when they have the ball as well. So I think in the grand scheme of things, we spoke about it on the pod on Thursday. Arsenal have got, I think, 5 or 6 fixtures between now and the end of the year in the Premier League alone. And while it may sound very unsavoury, West Ham were the first tick in the box, and now Arsenal have got 5 or 6 more ticks before the end of the year. And they should be winning every single one of those in the Premier League. They should be.
Yeah, so out of the 18 points that you predicted that you were going to get 18, I think that's chalked off now, so 15 to go for your period. With West Ham, I think the fixtures now seem to be a lot more, how can I put it, competitive, considering that we've played Aston Villa, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United and Spurs before half a season has even been played. Even a third of the season has been played, to be fair. Quick maths. That's what happens when you've had a couple of quick Cruz Campos down your throat. By the way, if Cruz Campo are listening to this, I would welcome a crate. That would be great. I've already nicked 2 of your glasses from multiple pubs. I haven't really. But yeah, I think West Ham now they've either got to make a very, very big bold decision. It's either a back Lopetegui with the new set of fixtures coming up, or do you sack Lopetegui and give the new manager the bounce that's needed to get West Ham up that table? If I had to make a decision tonight, immediately after that game, I would make a change now. I'd say thank you, Lopetegui, for what you've done. But again, it just echoes wrong appointment at the time. The fans know better. The fans know what they want. We got a glimpse of that on Monday. There was a bit of hope, but that hope's gone for me now. Leicester away next week. We've got Ruud van Nistelrooy's first game. I believe they lost today, didn't they? They lost to Brentford 4-1, so they'll probably potentially have a new manager bounce. So let's equal that. Let's make a change. Just get the right person in. Let's pay that money. Sullivan, don't be a cheapskate. Just get it done. Get the right person in, because otherwise this project that you're putting together is failing. It's failing miserably in its first attempt. Yeah, and that kind of concludes us. I mean, thank you to the Three Pigeons pub for hosting us.
That's amazing.
What's that?
Oh, sorry, my dad's showing me.
Your dad's showing you a picture of a woodpecker.
Looking after, it's chick.
Right. Okay. Oh, right.
Cute.
Okay.
I thought it was cute.
Okay. There's a few woodpeckers in here, I must admit. No, again, thank you to the Three Pigeons pub in Halstead, Essex, hosting us this evening. I mean, I say hosted, they allowed us to sit at a table and buy their beer. So, yeah, thank you. Back to where it began. Hopefully we can come back here in future for the reverse fixture of hopefully West Ham demolishing Arsenal at the Emirates, but we'll be waiting a very, very long time for that at this current, guys. But thank you for listening, and see you soon. Bye.
Take care, thank you.